Find f prime a where f is given by this function 1 over root x plus 3. So pretty much we are asked to find derivative of this function at x equals a. So we got two formulas. F prime a is limit of fx minus fa over x minus a as x approaches to a, and there is another formula, limit of f of a plus h minus fa over h as h approaches to 0. So this one will be more useful, so I'm going to use the second formula, that is f prime a equals limit as h approaches to 0 of f of a plus h minus fa over h. Now we need to determine what f of a plus h and fa are from this function. So let's do one side here. Okay, so I'm going to erase these two. So fx is this. So fa is easy. F of a means f of input is equal to 1 over square root of that input plus 3. Here f of a means just replace x by a, 1 over square root of a plus 3. Okay, that's f of a, that's easy. And how about f of a plus h? So when we have x, we got x here, that's input. Now our input is a plus h. So we just replace x by a plus h. So this one is 1 over square root of a plus h plus 3. X is a plus h plus 3. And they go here, so in this fraction. So we got h on the bottom. F of a plus h is here, 1 over square root of a plus h plus 3 minus f of a is 1 over square root of a plus 3. Okay, so we got a fraction, a complex fraction here. That was the formula, where we need to combine two fractions on the top, then everything divided by h. As we know in this formula, if we try to directly plug in h equals 0, we're gonna get 0 over 0. That's always the case. Okay, to simplify this, we can multiply top and bottom means h, by the common denominator of the top. So we got two different bottoms. This one, when inside radical sign, this is this and this. These two are different, they are not like. So we need to multiply by the common denominator, which is just product of both. Square root of a plus h plus 3 times square root of a plus 3. That's the common denominator coming from the top. When we multiply by this and same thing on the bottom, a plus h plus 3, a plus 3, we can simplify the radical sign on the bottom. So this one gives us now limit h going to 0 of, and there was no issue on the bottom, so we got now h and these two radical signs. So I'm going to write all of them. H square root of a plus h plus 3 times a plus 3, that's on the bottom. On the top, now we have 1 over this expression times this, minus 1 over this expression times this. So when we multiply first fraction by this, then this one cancel, because this is on the bottom and this one is on the top. When we multiply, this goes on the top. So that leaves just square root of a plus 3 times 1, so square root of a plus 3 on the top, minus, in the same way now you can kind of guess, when we multiply, this is not gone, this is gone for just for the first. Okay, so we still have we still have, so let me make it very small, both for this fraction. So in this case, a plus 3 cancel, and this one is left. So we get square root of a plus h plus 3. Okay, do not cancel anything, there's a negative sign. So in fact, this whole thing is a block. Now, at least we simplified a little bit, not that much, but now we got difference of two radical signs on the top. The next thing we need to do is rationalize to get rid of this square root. Rationalize means we need to multiply by the conjugate. There is no issue on the bottom because there was none from the very beginning at times. Now the conjugate of this means negative means plus, so we multiply by a plus 3, now plus square root of a plus h plus 3, and same thing on the bottom, a plus 3 plus square root of a plus h plus 3. Okay, let's multiply. Limit h going to 0, and there is no issue on the bottom, so we have h square root of a plus h plus 3 times square root of a plus 3 times this plus means is a block. Okay, plus means always one block. So a plus 3 square root of a plus h plus 3. Now we're going to multiply the top. Whenever we multiply by its conjugate, so we had like something like u minus v here when we put parentheses around, and we multiplied by u plus v. This is u plus v, and when we FOIL, when we multiply, u squared uv minus vu minus v squared, and middle two terms cancel, we're gonna get u squared minus v squared. In fact, we've seen this before. When we factor, the difference of two squares goes in this way. But when we multiply, because we are in the multiplication case, when we multiply, we are getting u squared minus v squared. The middle two terms cancel, okay? So here, I'm going to multiply the top. So this is like u, so u is squared. And by the way, a plus 3 times u is squared. Let's write in this way, u is squared. That means square and squared cancel. Just survives a plus 3. So root a plus 3 times root a plus 3 is just a plus 3 minus, okay, it's a minus, then we have to be careful. We need to put parentheses around. That's the u squared, and now we have minus v squared. So this one times this, a plus h plus 3 v squared, that cancels as well. So a plus h plus 3, but we have to be careful, there is negative outside, that means negative 1. Now we need to distribute, so negative a, negative h, negative 3. So negative a, negative h, negative 3. Okay, finally we are almost done. Now we can simplify the top. So we were working so hard to simplify the top. It's finally simplified because now a, negative a cancel, plus 3 minus 3 cancel, that's 0. So that leaves just negative h on the top. So we have limit h going to 0 of negative, this one is negative h over the whole thing. Okay, it's tedious to write, but there is no other option. Now we can cancel the zero making factor. Finally, h cancel, so negative 1 left on the top. Okay, and now we take the limit. So that is, we take the limit means h, replace h by 0 after we cancel. So negative 1 on the top, I can pull negative to the front. On the bottom, h is 0. Okay, this is 0, this is 0. So we got square root of a plus 3 and the square root of a plus 3. Oh, look at this. This is now square root of a plus 3 after h being 0, and the square root of a plus 3. Same thing, when we multiply, we get square root of a plus 3 quantity squared. That means simply a plus 3. So a plus 3. And inside, when we multiply, we get quantity squared. Inside, we have square root of a plus 3 plus square root of a plus 3. So same thing. It's like y plus y. That's not y squared, 2y. Y times y is y squared. So like y plus y, 2y. So 2 copies of a plus 3. So these two is 2 copies of a plus 3, root a plus 3. Okay, we may leave here, but we can simplify. So let's simplify a little bit here. Okay, because I got a situation where a plus 3, I can think like y, this 2 is in the front, times this is square root of y. So when we multiply y and square root of y, that same is y 1 copy, square root of y means y half copies, y raised to 1/2. Okay, and when we multiply, we have the same base y. 1 and 1/2 means we add these exponents. 1 plus 1/2 is 3/2. So we have negative in the front 1 over this 2. A plus 3, 1 copy. A plus 3, that's quantity 1/2, like this. So a plus 3, how many copies? 3/2. Final. Or you may leave here, just writing 2 in the front. Negative 1 over 2, a plus 3, root a plus 3. Okay, it's not easy, it's long. Done.